My nickname came from, actually, you probably won't like the answer. The editor of Full Contact Fighter magazine, Joel Gold, gave me the handle, The Natural, after I beat Vitor Belfort the first time. After that fight, I kind of adapted to Vitor's fighting style and beat him standing up, which nobody expected. And Joel's like, "Hey, you're the Natural. Can we call you the Natural?" And I'm like, "I've been called worse things. I suppose that's fine." My hobbies outside of MMA are anything that has to do with the outdoors. I like to mountain bike. I like hunting and fishing. I grew up hunting and fishing with my father and my stepfather. I've done some adventure racing. So anything outdoors. I love to ski. I started skiing when I was 5 years old, and it was actually what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an Olympic skier as a kid.
You retired when the MMA took off. Do you feel like you're missing something?
I definitely feel like I was kind of on the cusp of when things exploded. Obviously, being involved in the first TV show, I think that's what really changed the landscape, and so I feel like I was part of the wave as it rose, and now the wave is really carrying on. I don't know that I'm missing anything. I'm still involved in the sport through commentary, and although I'm 43, there's probably a fight or two left in this body if I should decide to come back and compete again, get back in the mix. We'll see what happens.
UFC used to be the only league before in the US. Now there is the Pride, IFL, and Bodog. Who do you think will end up lasting?
I think of all the other networks or productions that are out there, the UFC is probably the most deeply entrenched, and when people think of mixed martial arts, the UFC is the first organization that comes to mind. It's been around the longest. I think it's probably the most successful, but there's still room, I think, for some of the other productions, and competition is good. I think the more outlets we have as fighters to compete in, the better it is for us.
What future do you see for the new MMA promoters?
Well, being an MMA promoter myself, I have a small production out in the Northwest called Sport Fight. I know what a tough business it is. It's a very, very difficult thing to put a show on. There's a lot that goes into making a show, especially a good show. And we do it on a very small scale. I can't imagine doing it for live pay-per-view or something as big as these other productions are taking on. So I think that people see the success that productions like the UFC and some of the others are having, and think, oh well, let's put on a show, and think they're just going to run out and make a bunch of money, and it's not that easy. Since I stopped fighting, I've been busier than I've ever been in my entire life. From commentating for the Fight Network out of Canada and the UFC at the pay-per-views, to launching a new nutrition line and opening 3 new training centers. I've been busy as ever. I had the opportunity to do a couple of movies, which was fun. I had a small role in Invincible with Mark Wahlberg, and a little bit bigger part in a movie that's yet to come out called Big Stand with Rob Schneider. And so that should be out in a couple months. I'm excited about that.